Have you ever poured your entire being into chasing an echo? A fleeting glance, a rare word of affirmation, the simple warmth of "I'm proud of you." Every festive season, I arrived laden with a fragile hope that this year, the air might feel different. That maybe, just maybe, they would look at me and finally see me. Not the stray they took in, not the charity case, but their son.my name is Jonah. And for years, I saw myself as the Mitchell family's perpetual black sheep, that a rebellious footnote in their perfect saga. But black sheep implies a degree of agency. The truth was far more insidious. I was their designated scapegoat, the convenient villain. The one they could lie to, mock, and discard, confident I'd never retaliate. Christmas morning, the air, thick with the cloying sweetness of cinnamon rolls and the synthetic tang of a pine forest candle, a cherished, annual ritual. Wrapping paper exploded across the living room like festive shrapnel. Noelle, as ever, a meticulously wrapped gift herself, dispensed presents with the practiced grace of a Hallmark movie protagonist. Eli, already mid-flight with his latest drone, an obnoxious hum filling the space. Mom, a whirlwind of manufactured cheer, doting on everyone, her smile a brittle ornament. And Dad, a fixture in his opulent leather throne, surveying his kingdom with the quiet disdain of a monarch to me, a crumpled afterthought on the Persian rug, clinging to the fading hope of belonging, still chasing that elusive whisper of acceptance. Then Noelle approached, her smile a practiced ballet of condescension, extending a diminutive, ribbon-tied box. Something meaningful, she purred. For a fleeting heartbeat, I felt a flicker of warmth, a foolish belief that this, finally, was their olive branch that I tore into the paper. Inside, nestled on a bed of tissue, lay a paternity test kit. Her smile widened, a predatory gleam in her eyes. "Now you can finally stop pretending you're one of us." Dad's booming laughter filled the room, a sound so devoid of warmth, so overflowing with cruel mirth, it grated. Mom, her face a mask of feigned concern, added, "It's time we stopped lying to ourselves." Eli's smirk was the final shard. Something within me shattered, but from the fragments, something fierce ignited. Because they were playing a game they didn't know I'd already 1.6 months prior. I'd taken a test. Not the one they offered, but the one they truly deserved. I rose, a new stillness in my movements, and crossed to the hall tree. From an inner pocket of my coat, I withdrew a sleek, unadorned black box. I extended it to Dad, interrupting his triumphant cackle. "Before we get to mine," I stated, my voice unervingly calm, "you should open yours." His laughter died, his brows furrowed in annoyance. Then curiosity tore it open as he unfolded the single sheet of paper inside. The color drained from his face. His hands, usually so steady, began to tremble imperceptibly. The king's smug grin vanished, replaced by a mask of horrified disbelief. Mom peered over his shoulder, her complexion turning ashen. Eli and Noelle, still processing their victory, froze, their eyes wide with confusion. "What is it?" Eli stammered. My gaze locked onto Dad's. "It's a DNA test," I confirmed, my voice a low rumble. "But not mine, yours." Because Eli, their golden boy, their meticulously sculpted miracle, isn't your biological son at all. My career in cybersecurity isn't just a job. It's a window into the digital shadows, a mastery of unearthing what people desperately try to bury. 8 months ago, a quiet suspicion led me down a rabbit hole that I resurrected Mom's permanently deleted emails. A digital ghost story between her and a man named Victor Morales, the Dad's former best friend, his business partner. And, as the digital breadcrumbs revealed, Eli's true father. The archive was a treasure trove of betrayal. Intimate photos, discreet hotel receipts, saccharine love notes. One message, scrawled in a frantic hand, still echoes in my mind. "If you love me, disappear. Let Adam believe the baby is his." And Victor, surprisingly, did. He vanished, relocated across the country, built a new life, oblivious to the son he left behind. But I found him, and when I presented him with the undeniable truth, he didn't hesitate. The results? A resounding 99.98% match. So, While they meticulously crafted their little Christmas ambush, I was meticulously assembling a truth bomb of my own. Dad, I realized, always harbored a flicker of doubt. But instead of facing the uncomfortable truth, he leveraged me, the perfect distraction. He allowed them to humiliate me, to cast me as the outsider, the charity case. Why? Because acknowledging Eli wasn't his would have shattered the carefully constructed empire he'd built. He needed a villain, a convenient other, a disposable son. But here's where his careful edifice truly crumbles. Dad, in his hubris, never legally removed Victor from the company records. Victor Morales still owns a significant stake in their multi-million-dollar construction business. For a quarter century, Dad has been systematically defrauding his former best friend, operating illegally, and enriching himself with stolen profits. And yes, I have the irrefutable documentation. Ever wondered why Eli, at 17, was gifted a brand-new luxury car while I cycled to work in torrential rain? Why Noel's elite university tuition was covered without a second thought, while I was told paying my own way would build character and foster resilience? It wasn't random. It was a cold, calculated campaign of favoritism. They showered everything on the son who wasn't his, and withheld everything from the one who was. Because, ironically, I am his biological son. When I was 16, Dad received my paternity results. He knew, and he buried the truth, preferring to let the lie fester, to let me suffer, rather than confront the woman he married or the fragile ego he protected. So when I handed Dad that black box, the initial impulse wasn't vengeance. Not entirely. I simply wanted the elaborate charade to collapse. I wanted truth, raw and unvarnished, to stalk into that room and dismantle every carefully constructed lie. Then, I turned to Eli, pulling up a photo on my phone, a side-by-side of him and Victor. The undeniable mirroring of eyes, the same strong jawline. This, I articulated, each word precise, is your father, and he wants to meet you. Eli, their golden boy, stood utterly mute, his carefully constructed world imploding. Noel's jaw dropped, a silent gasp caught in her throat. Mom remained frozen, a statue of petrified deceit. And Dad, he simply stared, as if confronting a spectral apparition, the ghost of a son he'd tried to erase. There were no shouts, no tears, no desperate pleas for them to finally see me. I simply turned, walked away from the wreckage of their Christmas, and stepped out into the biting winter air. No coat, no gifts, just me. But for the first time in my life, I felt an unshakable sense of completeness. I had spent a lifetime striving, begging for scraps of affection from people who generously offered only silence and shame. Now I understood. I was never the problem. I was the inconvenient truth they couldn't twist, the living evidence of their deceit. I didn't burn that bridge. I simply ceased hauling bricks to rebuild it. And as that front door clicked shut behind me, I didn't glance back. Because some families are forged in blood. But the ones that endure, the ones that truly heal, they're built on choice. On truth. And I choose mine. What truth are you building? Share your story, or find solace in others, on the Echo Tales YouTube channel.